Hello. Hello there. Um, ulit. Hello everyone. My name is Dan Brian Andalan and I am 17 years old. I will be turning 18 in about a month. But this election day, I cannot vote. Not because I don't want to, but because I am ineligible. I can only vote in the 2025 Barangay and Sangguniang Kabataan elections. Now, let's be serious for a moment because today is election day, as you see this, of course, depending on what time it is. Since today is election day, over 50 to 60 million people will cast their ballots. Over 68.4 something million Filipinos are eligible to vote in this election. However, as statistics shows and history shows, not everyone turns out to vote in the midterm elections. Why is that? You know? Because the thing is, just like the presidential elections that happened 3 years ago, the midterm elections are just as, if not even more important than the presidential elections. Now, I would like to say something that might offend a few. Please vote wisely, okay? I know that does not sound offensive to you, but look at our politicians now. Who voted for them? You, right? If you voted in the last election, you most likely put these people in the House of Representatives, in the Senate, and in your local councils in those positions. You did this, okay? I am not criticizing a specific person. I am not dropping names here. I am criticizing the entire nation for this, the entire population of the Republic of the Philippines, because you did this, okay? I I want a future for this country that makes this nation better economically, politically, and makes us a more world-class country. But what is this? What are we doing here? We're electing some corrupt politicians. We're electing people who give us money before election day and do nothing afterwards. We did this, okay? Even if you did not vote in the last election, you are being complacent in this issue. You are being complacent. You're just watching, okay? You are not doing anything. So, I am so, so disappointed with the Filipino people. I know first past the post is the system that we use, and it does not put out the best outputs. Like, President Duterte back in 2016 was elected president with only about 33 to 35% of the popular vote. That's right, 65% of the people who voted in the presidential elections back in 2016 did not even vote for him. But now that we have a president who has 58% of the popular vote, we have senators who are just corrupt as hell, who don't even do things, representatives who just campaign and not have any platforms. They just plaster their name and then their number and then their face and then their party logo in a tarpaulin and then just plaster it everywhere in your local area and not do anything. Why? 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 Like, a lot of things. We have a lot of issues here in the Philippines: poverty, education, cost of living, those things. The economy, yeah, those kinds of things. But what is one way we can do to make real world change? or real nationwide change? Voting. We are so lucky we get to live in a democracy. I know this is not the best democracy in the world. We're not Australia with their ranked choice voting and their proportional representations through single transferable vote. I would love Australia's system of elections to be like here in the Philippines. But it isn't, okay? I hope it will be in the future, but for now it isn't. However, what we do have that is the same as Australia is that we do have a democracy here. This nation is ruled by the people, for the people. Okay? It's not like we're so fortunate that even if, despite the fact that we continue to elect some of the worst people on this nation, like some of these are not even remotely qualified to be elected, we still live in a democracy. We're so incredibly gullible, but we still live in a democracy. Not everyone gets to engage in a democratic way of voting like this. Not a lot of people have the privilege to engage in democracies like we do here in the Philippines. So, this is a plea to the nearly 10 million people who did not vote 3 years ago. And if you can, and if you are considering not voting, please vote, because this election will be a sort of referendum to the current Marcos administration. Okay, we need to put out our votes and we need to make our voices heard by voting. Okay, you do not have an excuse to not vote. Well, we're gonna have to hear you out first before we get to say, oh, that's not an excuse. Oh, maybe, okay, sure, you know. But if you can vote tomorrow, because it is a national holiday, no one needs to work tomorrow, okay? Please vote, okay? Please vote. Like, we are so privileged and so lucky, so fortunate that we get to engage like this, okay? So, if you can, please vote today here on election day. And yeah, I can't vote, but hopefully you can. Do make your voice heard and let those politicians know that they're not doing the best job. That is all for today. Thank you so much for watching, and may God bless us all. Goodbye.